If there's one positive thing that the COVID pandemic has delivered, it's prompted entrepreneurial businesses to pivot and seek new markets and new products. And today I'm taking you to meet a dynamic entrepreneur who's done just that. Welcome to this BVTV Network Trilogy, coming to you from the UK Studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. Now I'm taking you to Suffern, New York, to meet the founder of Rob School of Music and acclaimed musician himself. So welcome, Rob Spampinato.
Thank you, Malcolm. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, hey, I'm just loving your backdrop. And it's not a backdrop, it's an actual studio. You can play all those, can you?
Absolutely. They are all real. I touch them, I feel them, I use them. And this has become my centralized hub now where I teach all the virtual lessons worldwide.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And I noticed beforehand, quality equipment, Rob, always works, doesn't it? Rob,
Absolutely.
you were running a successful premises-based school of music, and then along came the pandemic. So tell us about it and how you used your entrepreneurial thinking to go online with lessons. What urged you? What were the challenges? And what do you offer?
Well, we found out that the pandemic was coming about 2 weeks before it got really crazy here in New York because the first New York State death occurred in our town. That wasn't in the news, but that was the truth. So I pivoted to moving all of my lessons online about 10 days before the rest of the world realized we should be doing that. And I think that gave me a slight edge because we were educating people on the fly before they were overwhelmed with everything else. And we pivoted our entire roster of students, 120 students. On a Saturday, they got a Zoom link. On a Sunday, they got a how-to video. And on Monday, boom, they were virtual. I set up all my teachers with microphones, cameras, everything. So it was the same exact experience. You got a camera to see your hands. You got a camera to see the face. And it blew up. It's blew up. We're worldwide now. It's incredible.
It is totally incredible. But what was incredible, the speed that you did it, the speed that you did that, because so many people sat on their backside saying this will go away, didn't they?
Absolutely. And there was some pushback, but I just stood strong. I think our community here within the people who I knew personally from coming to take in-person lessons, they sort of trusted my instinct just based on our relationships together. And I'm sure glad they did because, it would have been a very different situation, but it's been just so cool.
I don't know whether you can remember, but it's a long time ago. There was a very, very famous newspaper ad. It was so successful, it kept running for everything. And it started off with the headline. It said, "They laughed at me when I sat down to play the piano." And it was a direct mail lessons on how to learn to play the piano. I mean, so successful in those days. What do you do different with video? How is so much different from the old direct mail?
You know what? Our philosophy, both in person, virtually, any way someone takes a lesson with us, our whole philosophy is to get to the why. Why does someone want to learn how to play? If we can get to their why, we can custom tailor and completely make a unique lesson plan for them. It's not cookie cutter. We're different people, right? So we're going to learn different ways. Everybody learns a different way. So everyone gets a completely proprietary system just for them. And being able to do it virtually, we can see each other. It's like we're sitting in the same room. And because we have the multiple cameras, it's not like you're squinting at the screen to see my hands because I click a button and you see my left hand. I click a button, you see my right hand. Same with the piano lesson. It's an overshot of the piano. So it's a very future where we've always been a tech forward business. So I think this was just sort of the perfect marriage of necessity and culture.
Yes, and of course you're worldwide now. Which sort of countries are really getting excited about being able to do this?
Well, you know what? It started, we were doing the lessons and we just did with our student base. And then I started doing these interviews on YouTube and Instagram with large scale musicians. And I started doing another YouTube show where I was reviewing records with a bunch of friends of mine around the United States. And all of a sudden we'd have people tuning in from the UK, people from Australia, people from Brazil, and then they would sign up for lessons and then they would tell a friend. So now we're in South America, we're in Europe, we're in Australia. Nothing in, we had someone in Russia for a bit too. So yeah, I mean, we've hit most of the continents. It's incredible. Right. Like overwhelmingly cool.
And did they want the balalaika to be taught the balalaika in Russia?
You know, that particular guy, he wanted to learn very intricate finger style. So we have another
Right.
cool thing about the school here is it's not just me, it's other teachers. So
Yeah.
all of us can do everything, but we have sort of specialization. So we have one guy who's great with finger style, one guy who's great with metal, and you know, we just point them in the right direction, link them up, and from the comfort of their own home, they click sign in, and then here we are.
Yeah, I've got this feeling that my viewers and listeners are going on and saying, "Go on, Malcolm, go on, ask him, go on." So I will ask him, what's the most popular musical instrument that people want to learn?
It's three, honestly, and they're kind of neck and neck. It changes day to day in terms of our leads that we receive, but it's guitar, voice, and piano. Those three.
Yeah. Are we talking electric guitar or Spanish guitar?
You know what? It's all the same thing. That's a popular misconception because they both have, either way, it's going to have a neck, a body, and 6 strings. So the technique you're going to use is universal. So we really let the person decide whatever makes more sense for them. And then that's what we let them, you know, learn with.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah. Do you know what's the satisfaction it's given you, apart from obviously expanding your business? What's the satisfaction?
You know, it sounds cliche, but I swear it comes from my heart. Music it has been so important in my life. I'm a shy person before music came in my world. I'm a socially awkward person, and music gave me confidence, and it gave me this ability to speak out in public. And like something as simple as ordering a coffee, still to this day, sometimes freaks me out. But I just remember, you know, I'm a musician. I got this. This is who I am. So my greatest joy is to give that to other people. We work with a lot of young people, teenagers, middle schoolers who are figuring life out. And equally, we work with a lot of people who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s who always wanted to play, but someone in their life told them, you'll never be able to do that. So just confidence, giving people confidence. That's all. That's what this is all about.
Yeah. And I suppose as well, because we are still suffering and will be suffering for a long time of the pandemic with stress and other mental challenges, you must also be bringing some sort of therapy to those people as well, aren't you?
100%. You know, when we first pivoted to the virtual with our current students, we kept everyone at the same time. So when their life turned upside down within, 30 days of that moment, at 7:30 on Tuesdays, you still had your lesson. That was the one normal thing. And I know a lot of other places, they reshuffled schedules. No, we gave you that normalcy in your life. And that became therapeutic because here's your half hour, here's your hour to have that release, hanging out with your good friend, your teacher, your mentor, however you choose, your coach, whatever relationship that you forge with that individual. And then when you're at home and you're bummed out, you can play and it lets it out. If you fall in love, you write a love song. If you get your heart stomped in, you write an angry song. But yeah, definitely therapeutic. Always.
Yeah. Well, one of our former prime ministers, quite a famous one, Tony Blair, was renowned for loving to pick up the guitar and after he's had a hard day at the Houses of Parliament. Thanks, Rob. Now, let's give viewers and listeners details of your URL, your website, which obviously viewers you can see on the screen behind me. But for listeners, let me spell it out to you. It's all the W's, Rob's, ROBS, school, so there's 2 S's in the center there, robschoolofmusic.com, robschoolofmusic.com. Go there and you can find out not just more details about Rob and his huge mix of music learning, but also details of the online lessons that you've been talking about. Now, in episode 2, I'm going to ask Rob how far online lessons can take a student. All the way to the top. Can they make money? We'll find out in episode 2. Meanwhile, thanks, Rob, for a great episode 1.
Thank you, Malcolm, so much for having me. This has been a blast. Looking forward to continuing chatting.